Hey guys, quickly, before the podcast starts, it's Chad and Aaron here. We are back. Can you believe it?
Can you believe it? It's been like 2 years. Guys, before we start the episode that I know you're super excited to dig into and enjoy, we have a favor to ask. Of course, we always have the normal Explosive Magico feed with all the wonderful shows and the network on it. We do have a favor. We've made a new feed for the Paranoia Shop show itself. We used to have an old one. If you follow that one, it's dead. It's gone. We drowned it in a river.
So what we want you to do is, we want you to go on iTunes, look up our show and the Explosive Magico shows, and leave a review on both.
Yes, nice review. Maybe you could, I guess, somewhat nice, like, I don't know, 4 stars at least, please.
Yeah, and that way we can try to get our podcasts up on the new and trending Whoosy Whatsits on iTunes, and it'll be great, guys. It'll be great.
We've seen a lot of podcasts get featured that way, and you know what? We just want some of that not... I was going to say cheddar, we don't make any money. Just want some of that iTunes digital cheddar.
So yeah, look up Paranoia Shop and the Explosive Magico feed, leave some nice reviews on both, and it'll be great.
And we're going to make more episodes, more than just this one, in much quicker times.
All right, thanks guys. Enjoy the episode.
Love you.
They secretly meet for 17 days each July in a remote sacred grove of ancient redwood trees in the deep forests surrounding San Francisco. Some 1,500 in number, their membership roll is kept secret, but includes the super rich, blood dynasties and royal families, heavy-hitting corporate chieftains and high government officials. U.S. presidents, congressmen, Supreme Court justices. Mingling among them are a number of Hollywood movie stars, Broadway producers, famous entertainers, musicians, authors, painters, and poets, and industrialists. These men who control the world, the most powerful gathering of individuals ever assembled, gather in darkness, strip their clothes from their bodies, and dance nude in a forest clearing before a great 50-foot owl totem carved from the earth itself. Before it, they chant their infernal calls and set ablaze a dark offering, a human sacrifice to the great avian effigy, flames licking higher into the night sky, the great owl's eyes burning coal red as it springs to life, belching its own commands to those who command all else. The owl speaks, and our dark masters listen to its horrible, cackling, mesmerizing call.
Yo, you guys need some aloe. You got some real bad forest rashes. You guys real chap. Seen some real chap legs down there.
That's what the owl says.
Saying, yo, you guys got some real chap.
Gotta put on some lipstick.
Walk down naked in the forest. What do you think's gonna
chapstick.
happen? With some fucking aloe on.
Okay.
I missed that. I forgot you doing narration. It's been a while, Aaron.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since I've... There's
hey,
kids
everybody.
who don't know that song. There's kids who don't know that at one point the guy from Stained and Fred Durst or whatever sung a concert thing, and it became a big deal.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the 14th episode of Paranoia Shop.
Yeah, long time coming.
Your one-stop shop for all things conspiratorial, monster something, and generally weird. It's been so long I've forgotten our intro.
I think things have happened. I hope you haven't moved on to other shops.
They wouldn't.
I
They're
hope you
loyal.
kept your membership cards. Things have happened. Aaron, I don't know if you know about this. I adopted the Dark Lord Shoggoth as my Lord and Savior.
As you should.
Yeah, as I should. It's a big new thing for me. I'm getting excited.
Although technically speaking, a Shoggoth is more of a slave race.
No, he told me he was a demon.
The elder things.
No, he said he was a demon and I should worship him. Well, I mean, I guess I never checked, but oh fuck. Well, that's dumb. Oh, I missed.
Before you pledge allegiance to a deity, you should always check their credentials. Do a little curriculum vitae background check.
Okay.
Anyhow, thanks for checking in with us. This episode, if you couldn't tell from that opening monologue, is in fact about the most secret of secret societies. I don't know if that's a title or not, but
The most secretest of society is dest.
Secretest of Societies est.
Yeah,
that'll be the title. There it is.
Wait, so this is how we know about secret societies: is we've gotten employed and we're in the entertainment machine.
We're into the brainwashing media machine that is controlling your every move.
Yeah, we went to a secret meeting and we sacrificed some things about ourselves that were personal. I gave up all my Sonic comics. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Aaron had to swear to never play the theremin ever again.
I also had to sign my name in the Book of Blood at the Crossroads.
Yeah, sacrifice was made, and now we're set, and we're in these secret societies, so we're here to talk to you about them. It's actually pretty exciting.
It's pretty. Let me tell you, it's pretty sweet being at the top.
One day this week, I was just walking across the street, and I saw a guy who had our secret insignia of our secret society, but it was a lower insignia.
We did like 3 secret handshakes.
No, but this was a person who was 2 steps down.
Oh yeah, we did.
And I said, "Lick the boot." Lick the boot. And he said, "Oh, please let me lick the boot."
And he did it, and I could tell he didn't like it.
Yeah, I know. And then the old woman saw us doing it, and since I couldn't have her tell other people, I had her killed.
Yeah, which is a thing you could do in secret societies.
It's
pretty awesome.
I could kill Emma Stone right now. I could just say the words.
Yeah, she's only a level 5.
Yeah, I could get. You would think she would be higher, but Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 didn't do so great. So she got knocked down a couple levels.
Knocked down 2 pegs.
I could have her head on our table by night.
Eat it, Emma Stone. Anyhow, this episode is about secret societies. It's a tale as old as time, really. It's what separates us from the other.
It's what separates us from the worms, i.e. you who are not in our secret societies.
Yes, the gist of it is that people have an inherent distrust of clubs they're not a part of. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like that old Groucho Marx joke. I would never join any club that would have me as a member, except apply that to all of human civilization.
You know what I just realized? Paranoia Shop listeners, kind of a secret society because no one knows about Paranoia Shop. So, and
yet we get tweets every day that are from cryptic strangers on the internet.
Dark visions dance in our heads when we slumber. But technically, a secret society. So you should never tell anyone about Paranoia Shop.
Or if you do, tell them in code.
Yeah, say the howling eye knocks and also stares down at you.
Hashtag howling eye.
Hashtag 420 blaze it. And then tell them that. And say it to anyone, and that's your sign of acknowledging that someone else is a listener of Paranoia Shop.
Okay. Before we get into secret societies, let's answer a piece of fan mail and open up the Paranoia Shop fan mail bag.
Bats fly out. Oh, a demon scrolls out. Oh, God, we shouldn't have done that. Pandora's box opened again.
Matthew McGill has a personal story that he sent into our email and you can do the same at paranoiashop, that's SHOPPE, at gmail.com. Matthew McGill writes,
I want to do it.
Go for it.
Hey guys, love the show. All the talk in the most recent podcast about black-eyed children and poltergeists got me thinking of an incident 7 years ago. This happened when I was 18. My parents were asleep and I was on the computer. The computer room was next to my parents' room. At the time, my brother was 4 and was in the living room, lounging on his little sofa and watching TV. Oh, his little sofa.
A teeny one.
Sofa. While I was browsing the web on the computer, I had the sudden feeling I was being watched. Looking at the doorway, I saw what I assumed was my little brother, staring at me.
Uh-oh.
His mouth opened slightly, almost in awe. As we made eye contact, he did this funny turn. He was doing a lot of little stepping as he turned. It's like a little shuffle. And he ran into my parents' bedroom. I jumped out of my chair saying, "No, our parents are asleep." The worst, that should be the story right there. As I turned to my parents' room, the door was still closed. I hadn't heard it open or close either. I looked over to the living room, and my little brother was still on the couch watching TV. That's actually super terrifying.
Uh-oh.
I thought back on what I saw and remembered how he looked.
What was that ghost then? It was like a little truffle shuffle ghost?
A little truffle shuffle ghost. He was pale, wearing a white shirt with little checkered lines on it, which were a light gray color.
It was Beetlejuice!
No! It's summer fun Beetlejuice, because he has cargo shorts, which were also white.
Oh my god, it's Beetlejuice Does Hawaii!
No, yeah,
the unseen sequel of Beetlejuice that happens in development. That's a real movie.
Or when Jersey Shore has, like, all-white parties, so it was like a ghost that was, like, dressed...
Who came from an all-white party?
Yeah, an all-white party. He had hair, but it appeared shaven. It was white peach fuzz, like someone's hair growing back after being shaved. His eyes were completely black. No pupil, no color, no whites, just black. So like a little ghost boy like ran into his parents' room and I assume like peed on him.
Yeah, peed on him or gave him nightmares or just asked for a hamburger. I don't know.
That's actually pretty creepy. Like the little ghost thing just going.
So that actually happened to Matthew McGill, our listener friend.
He's a shopper. He's a Paranoia shopper. So thank you very much for that story. Actually, genuinely creepy. You didn't say if you ever checked on your parents. I assume they're not dead.
Yeah, you might want to go check on their.
If that was years ago, it'd be nice to know if, like, you know, if they saw anything or like.
Oh, I thought that was a dream.
I thought that was a dream. I thought it was really weird.
I stand by my guns. I think it was Chibi Beetlejuice going Hawaiian.
Getting set.
He was going to Miami Beach.
He's doing viral marketing for his upcoming movie.
Yes.
Sorry. All right. Let's get into our topic of secret societies.
Secret societies. My first topic is based on that intro that I described to you about all the celebrities and U.S. presidents and stuff.
Oh, yeah. What is
in
that?
the forest. That is something known as the Bohemian Grove.
Oh, that's right.
A.K.A. the Bohemian Club. So, the Bohemian Grove is a 2,700-acre campground located at 20601 Bohemian Avenue.
Wait, you know the address of it?
Yes, in Monterey, California,
okay.
Belonging to a private San Francisco-based men's art club known as the Bohemian Club. In mid-July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts a 2-week, 3-weekend encampment of some of the most powerful men in the world.
And again, this sounds like a cafe in New York.
It does.
Like, oh, you go there, oh, you got to stop by the Hard Rock Cafe and the Rainbow Cafe, and then Bohemian Grove. They have the most charming people dressed up in rain skirts. Like,
yeah, it sounds like it would be just like a resort or something. But then the more you read about it, the crazier it gets. Like, first of all, it has the creepiest club motto ever, called "Weaving Spiders Come Not Here," which implies that outside concerns
I'm sorry, what?
and business deals are to be left outside.
Weaving spiders?
Weaving spiders come not here.
So they think other people
are little spiders
that weave while they are the people that control everything.
Yes, they control the strings.
Seems
the other weavers.
It would be creepier. They've been like, little flies are not welcome in our web.
But don't weave your tails.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, so the Bohemian Club's all-male membership and guest list includes artists, particularly musicians, but also prominent business leaders, government officials, including all U.S. presidents.
Wait, is it all?
I'm sorry.
There's never one that ever
all
opted
Republican U.S. presidents.
Really?
Senior media executives and people of power.
Wait, really? There's not, like, it doesn't allow...
There are some Democratic Party members.
Like Carter never got involved?
But literally every single member of the Republican Party is considered a member of Bohemian Grove.
Aren't there pictures of, like, Nixon and Reagan at the Bohemian Grove?
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There are, and it sounds fake until you actually start seeing these photos. These very prominent politicians, including people like William F. Buckley, both George Bushes, Dick Cheney, Calvin Coolidge, Walter Cronkite, Bing Crosby, John E. DuPont, Clint Eastwood, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Gerald Ford, Barry Goldwater, Merv Griffin, Charlton Heston, Herbert Hoover, Henry Kissinger, Jack London, John Muir, Colin Powell, Ronald Reagan, David Rockefeller.
Jack London.
Nelson Rockefeller. Yeah, the guy who wrote...
Beloved man, Jack London.
who wrote Call of the Wild.
Oh, I was thinking it was Jack Lemmon.
Oh, not Jack Lemmon.
I was thinking of Jack Lemmon like Walter Matthau. Like, no, the Odd Couple were just saying, oh, I like your Bohemian Club is, I don't know. There's not...
Teddy Roosevelt, Karl Rove, Donald Rumsfeld, Mark Twain, Earl Warren. Keep that list in mind as I described to you.
There will be a quiz later.
That all of these people stripped naked and had a mock human sacrifice in front of a 40-foot owl totem.
Which is crazy. So my question is, in the sacrifice, that's already batshit crazy. But my question is, the sacrifice, who is sacrificed?
So, the ceremony is called the Cremation of Care and involves a high priest igniting a human effigy before the owl shrine in a bacchanal. The spirit of care, which is just a human effigy, is cremated in front of a 40-foot high owl as nude people dance.
It's the Wicker Man.
As nude U.S. presidents dance around and chant.
Do you think, like, when Nixon danced, like, he was aware, like, he intentionally did, like, the meat spin thing where he was like, I want everyone to see.
Haru.
Everyone look at me.
I
This is
want
my-
to look at my little dick.
My little dick. My little dick spin. Go, little
Big
dick.
dick.
Go.
Big Dick's making his little dick spin.
Oh, everyone watch. Ow, God, are you watching my dick spin?
So while they sacrifice...
I can't not picture him just like arms up in the air, just like, I'm living it up in the Bohemian Grove.
So while this thing is happening and all these nude U.S. presidents are dancing around, the voice of Walter Cronkite himself belts out of the giant owl statue.
Is he always the owl?
And starts giving them commands.
Wait, how was he always the owl, or like this one time it was depicted that he was?
He is always the owl.
Because I like to think that like they rotated out, like basically who was
Maybe they replaced it with John Legend or something.
like the same way my church youth group, we would do skits. We would do skits where like someone plays Jesus and someone plays the devil, and I always had to play the devil because I was a big fat guy and like the Jesus was always a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Youth groups are weird, but like people like were like, that guy's going to be a real good talking owl, is I think how they would play it too. Like Cronkite, he's got it locked down. And eventually someone else came up and was like, I'm Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby wouldn't be allowed. It'd be like, it'd be like, I'm Dan Rather. I'm Dan Rather, and I'm replacing Cronkite as the talking owl.
Only newsmen
usually have it.
So you were wondering what Richard Nixon thought of Bohemian Grove. You know how Nixon recorded all of his conversations and all the tapes?
Please tell me he has tapes about it.
He has it on tape, him talking about Bohemian Grove.
Are we going to listen to it?
We can listen to it right now.
But the upper class in San Francisco is that way. The Bohemian Grove that I attend, one time to time, the Easterners and the others that come there, but it is the most faggy goddamn thing. If you're managing a San Francisco crowd, because it's just terrible. I mean, I never want to shake hands with anybody in San Francisco.
In case you heard that, this is Richard Nixon talking.
It's not us.
Most f***y thing he's ever attended.
I won't shake hands with anybody.
I won't shake hands with anyone from San Francisco.
So he goes, but he doesn't want to be part of it? Or
right. But Satan makes him go, unfortunately. The
like,
owl totem commands
it's like
him.
social. I understand social, responsibilities and like that sort of thing. Like, I guess I gotta go to this party. Like, it's important for me to control the world.
I gotta go worship an owl deity.
Oh, that little owl. The idea of these secret societies is usually you think about them as in like everyone wants to be part of them, right? Like everyone wants to be like, God, I wish I was the highest level Freemason, and I wish I could get inside and just know what everyone in the this society says. I like to think that there are people. It's funny to think about like these high-powered players who have to just join reluctantly because then they'll just be left out of the game. Yeah. Like, I don't really want to join the Masons, but, oh, God, if I don't get to know where the aliens are.
A lot of people have tried to confront, major politicians about the Bohemian Grove, and what's fun is they don't outright deny it. A lot of them will acknowledge that it exists, but can't talk about it, quote unquote.
I mean, yeah, so they have to, like, they probably are hoping you just think it's like Club David or Camp David or just like fun little like weekend retreat places. Like there are probably in the Bahama Islands and all those tropical island resorts. I bet half of those are just like secret government power player bases of just like because who else is going to go there? Except the tribal people who still survive. Yeah.
My favorite reaction, though, by far, is a politician who actually was invited and decided not to go. And believe it or not, that is Mr. Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton. Wait, he would be so fun there.
I know. But listen, click on this link. This is called Bill Clinton Confronted About the Bohemian Club. And it is one of my favorite things.
I'll tell you a couple of stories about fraud.
Bohemian Club, says that guy.
The Bohemian Club.
I remember hearing this.
As you say, the Bohemian Club?
As men come for him.
That's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right?
Burn.
I've never been to the Bohemian Club, but you ought to go. It'd be good for you. Get some fresh air.
Snap. Oh, my God, Clinton, I miss you so much. Sorry not to get too political. Guys, Clinton was the best just for talking.
He was not a great person, but oh, my God.
Oh, he was so good at just telling people to shut up and, like, eat a Big Mac. Oh,
people say, not my president, such my president.
So good. So great. Played saxophone.
He's like, is that where the Republicans go stand against naked in redwood trees?
Why does no one ever talk about how Bill Clinton was the first ska president? Why does no one ever talk about that idea? No, yeah, it's it's cool to see people just tell a secret society like, no, fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. I'm not going there.
There's been a few really fun instances of people really trying to infiltrate it.
Yeah, because if it's giant acres, you have to just be able to walk on.
And people have snuck on the property when it's not happening and taken photos of the giant owl statue.
I think they would just burn it every time.
Yeah, and then there's also the photo you were discussing here of Nixon and
so
Reagan.
My question is, why was that picture ever released? Because it's pretty.
I think it was used as insurance.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, it would make sense. Like any secret society, by the way, you got to have dirt on all of your members. You have to we'll ruin your life if you tell people about the secret society.
So, among the people who have tried to sneak into Bohemian Grove, one guy you're going to hear a lot on this podcast is Alex Jones.
Okay.
He is like InfoWars guy. He is the king of secret societies. He hates them and thinks everyone is in them.
Because he's not part of them. That's
I know.
Here's the thing, though, right now, Aaron. Like, if you were approached and said, hey, you can come to Bohemian Grove.
Of course I would.
Once you're in, you can never get out. We can't tell you what's in it, but once you find out, you would always go. It's always like this simple. Yeah,
you want to find out. You want to open that mystery box. Jones went to the front gates of Bohemian Grove while this encampment
It's a dumb strategy,
happening.
I gotta say.
Yeah, and he found protesters there that he filmed as they were doing an occult counter ritual to that owl ceremony. Mm-hmm. Because the owl ceremony is called the cremation of care, and they were doing their own ceremony called the resurrection of care.
Wait, so it was like a
rival pagan cult.
What is care a god?
Care is the effigy that they burn.
Okay,
they burn away all the.
But it's
cares.
like CARE, care, like a Care Bear.
Like whether you care or not, like that kind of care.
It's a strange phrase.
Yeah, and then probably my favorite one is on January 19th, 2002, a 37-year-old named Richard McCalson was arrested after his nighttime infiltration of Bohemian Grove, where he set several fires. He was heavily armed and wearing a skull mask and an outfit with the Phantom Patriot written across the chest.
Phantom Patriot? So was he going to kill them?
He was setting fires, had a skull mask, and
he was going to do Metal Gear
guns.
Solid Patriot shit and kill them.
He was going to kill all the most powerful people in the world. That's the Bohemian Grove. U.S. presidents and Mark Twain getting naked against redwood trees.
Look at my dick.
And worshiping a giant owl.
Everyone watch me. You
insane. I cannot believe everyone is not talking about that all the time.
That's crazy. I know. Let's talk about the Men in Black real quick. I had not thought we were going to talk about when I was digging up secret societies. I thought technically the Men in Black are a secret society. The idea of the Men in Black, right?
You're right. It's a secret organization.
It's a secret organization because everyone always thinks like, oh, it's kind of like a secret government thing, but really, every popular idea of the Men in Black, other than a few things like it's the highest level of government, is just that it's a separate organization, not just the movie. Like it exists parallel to everything else. There is a generally accepted origin of the Men in Black. I thought was.
Oh, really?
In 1953, the 200-odd members of the International Flying Saucer Bureau were taken aback when they received the October issue of the organization's journal, Space Review, the standard general name for magazine.
Space Review.
This issue, Space, still there.
It's big.
In it, IFSB founder Albert K. Bender announced that he had been given the solution to the, quote, mystery of the flying saucers, and that he'd like nothing better than to publish the information. However, he had been strongly advised against doing so by a higher source. He went on to urge those who plan to continue their research into UFO phenomenon to do so with extreme caution. He then folded the IFSB and shut down publication of Space Review. That is the final thing said in the magazine Space Review. Coincidentally, the IFSB and Space Review had been losing money at an impressive rate up to this point. So that is the final words of a, questionably failing magazine. When questioned about the state of affairs, Bender would say only that he'd been visited in September by 3, quote, members of the United States government wearing dark suits, who fully briefed him on the subject of flying saucers and then proceeded to threaten him with prison time if he ever repeated a word of what he'd been told to anyone.
Wow.
Bender spent the next 10 years carefully avoiding all questions on the matter. Over time, Bender's reticence on the subject, coupled with the exploitation of it by the IFSB's chief investigator, Gary Barker, in his sensationalistic 1956 book, They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers, which tells you exactly what the book is about, gradually gave rise to the notion that the 3 Men in Black had not been government agents at all, but rather were aliens themselves.
Okay.
So this is just like a pretty chilling last thing. You could still say, even in the 50s, it was still speculative, but it would be like as if National Geographic, their last issue was, we can't say anything else, but by the way, we found something in the woods.
Here's my thought.
Okay.
We've kind of talked about this on our previous episode, but this could have happened, but maybe it wasn't aliens. It might have been just like a secret government project.
I think that's more likely. There's a little bit more to this story.
Okay.
Bender more or less confirmed these suspicions when finally, in 1962, he published a book detailing his experiences called Flying Saucers and the Three Men. By the way, all these book titles, amazing. The book was, to put it mildly, totally implausible, involving, among other things, tales of Bender's being taken to the South Pole aboard an alien spacecraft and his subsequent surveillance by the extraterrestrials through 1960 when they returned to their home planet. So he just gets crazy. As untenable as the book was, however, it did have an enormous impact on the popular image of the Men in Black, or MIB, as they later came to know through Will Smith.
Here come the Men in Black.
Great. I missed, by the way, I missed a time in summer blockbusters where there was a matching hit summer song. In the book, Bender claims that the three men he encountered in 1953 had suddenly materialized in his bedroom, a feat U.S. government agents would surely have had difficulty in achieving, at least back in 53. I like that guy's little humor there. So that basically took Men in Black into a supernatural era. So the way I look at it is, there was a magazine that either was failing, and a guy said, like, whatever, I'll just throw this little like tidbit out there to freak everyone else out. Or legitimately an organization, or even a government organization just said, yeah, maybe don't be publishing like secret government stuff. Close down the magazine, because I believe we've agreed multiple times the most plausible, best explanation for Area 51 and all that stuff is government testing site. It's most plausible that there was some sort of organization, either secret government or secret society, that at least came by to be like, hey, you can knock it off. Like, we don't even... like,
yeah, that's 100% possible.
Yeah, even if we don't know what's going on, stop it. And that's what I like with the Men in Black is, at the time, the idea of Men in Black, black suits, black Ray-Bans, that's the Will Smith version creeping in again, but like, that would have helped you pretty well hidden in the 50s. The idea of the Men in Black now, which they never address, is they had to have updated their attire by now, right? Like,
yeah,
if you wore a Men in Black outfit and you're trying to walk across the street and like go and interrogate some guy because he saw an alien, everyone's going to notice like, the Matrix has ruined Men in Black for the Men in Black. It would have to be like, the modern day outfit would be like what, like a black hoodie and white T-shirt. And I'm sorry, I'm getting excited as I pitch a reboot of Men in Black right now in my head. Like,
maybe it was just the Secret Service, and he assumed that they were aliens.
Also, could be Secret Service. Yeah. Where's our funding coming from? That's the main issue with the Men in Black.
Bake sales.
Bake sales. Ooh,
untraceable.
Girl Scout cookies are actually connected to the Men in Black.
A really popular subject with secret societies is the concept of the NWO, and not the...
for a second, I was confused.
Not... what is it, a wrestling organization?
NWA is a rap group.
NWA.
NWO is, I believe, is New World Order.
Yes. The New World Order.
But also the wrestling group was called NWO. Yeah.
Okay. Because I see shirts that say NWO.
And you always keep thinking they're like a government conspiracy theory.
He's part of the Illuminati.
Why is that guy part of the Illuminati and also wearing like a sleeveless, ripped-off T-shirt?
Yeah, exactly. That's where the confusion comes in. So anyway, there's a lot of groups that would be considered part of the New World Order organizations. The biggest one that's a real organization that has had numerous conspiracy theories woven about it is something called the Bilderberg Group.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're talking about the Bilderberg Group.
Yeah. It's also known as the Bilderberg Conference, or the Bilderberg Meetings, or the Bilderberg Club.
The most fun thing to say, Bilderberg.
Bilderberg. It sounds like something Lego should
You go to
release.
the mall and go to the Bilderberg store, and they make you a little tiny government figurehead that you could stuff and put in your own personalities.
In this case, it's about 120 to 150 political leaders and experts from industry, finance, academia, media who meet secretly in a place somewhere in the world every year. The original conference was at the Hotel de Bilderberg in Oosterbeek, Netherlands, hence the name.
Where all evil things happen is in, like, those few, like,
In
Switzerland.
Oosterbeek.
Like Sweden and the Netherlands, where no one pays attention.
Yeah. So historically, the attendee lists have been weighted towards bankers, politicians, and directors of large businesses. For instance, at the most recent Bilderberg Group, the CEO of Amazon was there, the head of
Amazon.
the head of Google, one of the co-founders of Facebook, top executives from Microsoft, as well as the president of the European Union.
Rich people are just hanging out, but what is the premise of why they're, like, what is the public... I'm going just for a tech conference.
So actually, they literally say, we're getting together to figure out the fate of the world.
They don't say...
No, they do.
John Amazon does not go, goodbye, everyone, I'll be back in a week. We're going to decide who lives and dies.
It's a conference of all of these important people who are like, hey, how about we at least get a consensus of where we're going with this thing?
Okay.
This thing being the direction of the human society. Having 150 people basically influence the course of human events really does not sit with a lot of people.
No, it's... Wait, side tangent. Why don't celebrities do this? Do celebrities do this?
No, this is
Because
really
they should.
This is reserved for sort of like thinkers and tastemakers, and also just influential politicians.
But parallel, We Are the World. The We Are the World group of musicians were arguably the most important entertainers at the time, right?
Yes.
They got together to direct publicly the world's attention, or as many people who had radios and TVs, towards a unified cause that I think was Africa was starving. I don't remember what We Are the World was about.
That sounds about right.
I think it was something like that. I mean, that's easier for you to visualize for me because I'm dumb.
It's basically that, but replace it with like Timothy Geithner and
Zuckerberg
and King
or whatever,
Juan Carlos I of Spain and Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands, or my favorite one, Herman van Rompuy.
Who is that?
It's basically all of the 1% of the 1%ers getting together and saying, hey, we got a lot of power.
I feel like that should be illegal. I don't know why. I just feel like that should be a thing. Like,
but there's nothing preventing them from just getting
they're just
together.
hanging out. They should just have they have a fun time and probably with some beach balls. And
Yeah. So some on the left accuse the Bilderberg Group of conspiring to impose capitalist domination, which is probably true, while on some of the right have accused the group of conspiring to impose a world government and a planned economy, which is sort of like, these people are the slave race, these people are the workers.
The caste system.
Yeah.
Structured, organized classifications of all human beings.
So some nasty business that has kind of fueled conspiracy theorists' minds. Bilderberg's founder, Prince Bernhard, is rumored to have once belonged to the Nazi regime.
Okay.
Basically, the Nazis won, and we had no idea. Hydra. It's Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Hitler transferred consciousness.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
And then he was like, this is the way I do it.
I will live forever.
This is how we do it.
Okay, stop it.
Other Bilderberg members with alleged links to the fascist group include the U.S. banker David Rockefeller, who's rumored to have funded the Nazi eugenics program. If you remember, he was also a member of Bohemian Grove.
God,
These guys.
Nazis, you guys are killing it.
Some of the people who believe that include such hometown heroes as Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh,
What?
as he wrote in his crazy manifesto.
Wait, he believed he was striking back against
He
the
believed
Bilderberg
the
group?
Bilderbergs would be hurt by the Oklahoma City bombing.
But were they?
And Osama bin Laden. Conspiracy theorists not exactly associating with the best of company.
But here's the thing, though,
ruined it for the rest of us.
It ruins it for the rest of us.
You're asking, is it true? What's the truth behind it? And the answer is, in 2001, Dennis Healy, a Bilderberg Group founder and for 30 years a steering committee member, said, quote, "To say we are striving for a one-world government is exaggerated but not wholly unfair. Those of us in Bilderberg felt we couldn't go on forever fighting one another for nothing and killing people and rendering millions homeless. So we felt that a single community or a new world order
Oh my God.
throughout the world would be a good thing."
What? That does sound cool. The problem is, all right, I'm going to compare it to, take it down a notch, compare it to the great plot of Beast Machines.
Okay.
All right, listen, dumb kids cartoon about Transformers that most people didn't even like. Megatron dealt with some heavy stuff. The main idea of Beast Machines is that Megatron takes over Cybertron, not because he wants absolute power, because he genuinely believes in his own psychotic mind that the only way to stop the war between the Decepticons and the Autobots is for a unified people. So essentially, it'd say like, if I just control everyone, it's been done in other places besides Beast Machine.
Yeah, I think that you're also describing the Ultimate Marvel Universe version of Mr. Fantastic.
Peace is perceived by removing opposition. Like, that's kind of that scary idea. So the Bilderberg Group sounds like it has noble intentions, but then the part you don't get to hear, or they don't reflect on, is like, oh yeah, but we'd be the ones running it. Like,
and also, what if they're wrong? No one to stop them.
Yeah, there's no dissenting voice at all, which is terrifying.
So Bilderbergs, real secret world order, controlling your thoughts all up in your bases.
All up in your bases.
This is by far the granddaddy of them all.
I think I know where you're going to go. At least I assume
this is the OG, original gangsta secret society.
Wu-Tang Clan? Wu-Tang Clan.
That is the Freemasons.
Okay. I actually thought you were going to go Skull and Bones.
I have things to say about Skull and Bones.
I have things to say about Skull and Bones, too, but go ahead. All right.
The Freemasons. So Freemasonry, if you talk to anybody, especially like grandpas, they are either terrified of Freemasons or they are Freemasons. There's no in between.
And also people who are Freemasons, people who are like, I'll just show you my Freemason card. Sure, it's just a membership thing. They'll refer to it as casually as like, I'm part of 4-H, or I'm part of like the Burger King Kids Club. And then when you go like, but then when you go like, oh, so what happens when you're like level 30? He's like, I can't talk to you about that. What? Like, it's this weird, blatant, I don't care about telling people if I'm in the Freemasons, but also I can't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, so a lot of people know about the Freemasons in that it's a secret society. There's all these weird rules, like if you go anywhere in the world, a Freemason has to help you out if you're a Freemason, stuff like that. And a lot of people know that almost all of the founding fathers, like Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Paul Revere, were all Freemasons. So, like, a lot of really notable people were Freemasons. There's Benjamin Franklin, like I said, George Washington, Isaac Newton, Mozart, Mark Twain, again, Bohemian Grove and Freemason.
He's really doubling down on the secret societies.
Winston Churchill, the founder of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, J. Edgar Hoover, who was a master Mason by age 25.
Wait, I gotta ask a question. Are you allowed to be in multiple secret societies? Do you think that's inappropriate? Do you think the secret society is like, hey, notice that you've been going to Bohemian Grove a lot, and also you've been missing out on the Freemason meetings. Like, we just really want you to, really commit to this one.
I think it's like subreddits.
Yeah? You think you can just go to different ones?
You can subscribe to as many as you want.
And there's a few of the diehard guys who only, like, go to this one certain group, like, fucking assholes on five. Pick a side.
I wonder if there's rivalries.
TP, the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. There's Earl Warren, Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, Jesse Jackson, John Elway, Nat King Cole.
I'm sorry, John Elway?
John Elway. Benedict Arnold, Bud Abbott, Hey Abbott, Shaquille O'Neal, all seven Ringling brothers.
Wait, does that mean like when they're in the Lakers locker room when Shaquille was in the Lakers, like he and Kobe would be talking, and then Shaquille would just be like polishing his like Freemason ring, and Kobe is like, hey man, tell me about them Freemasons. I don't know what Kobe Bryant talks like because he doesn't ever talk. And then Shaq like, I can't tell you about that. Can't tell you about that, Kobe.
Can't tell you about that.
If you want.
There's also Oscar Wilde, Duke Ellington, Scottie Pippen, a lot of NBA players.
Wait, was Michael Jordan not in it though?
No, but Michael.
Holy shit!
No, but Michael Richards was.
Wait, no. What if Michael Jordan is like the main fighter against the Freemasons? Like every time he didn't pass Scotty the ball, it was like, I'm taking it to the Freemasons.
All paranoid conspiratorial raving aside, 14 American presidents were Freemasons. That's like over a quarter of them.
Is there a strong left or right political affiliation like the Bohemian Club?
No, it's across the board.
Or Grove?
And 33% of the signers of the Constitution were Freemasons.
Again, I want to give them the slight benefit of a doubt. Here's the justification of early secret societies.
Yeah.
Not saying the Freemasons necessarily were, but it's always the best explanation of why our founding fathers were. They had to basically meet in secret, right? Like,
yes.
The early days of it wasn't like, hey, hear ye, we're all going to hang out in the town hall and talk about how much the Britons suck. And the Britons like, what? What are you guys talking about? Nothing.
Shall we hang you?
Should we hang it? No, sorry, we're just having a shuffleboard meeting. Everyone, shuffleboard club. And the shuffleboard club becomes the name of a secret society. Like, I get that the initial people would have a reason to have a secret society.
But Scottie Pippen?
What does Scottie Pippen got to know?
I don't know.
Scottie Pippen, we need your insight into the triangle offense created by Phil Jackson. How can we use this to control the world?
Anyway, so
It's a good deep Chicago Bulls 90s cut. I hope I get some props for that.
Freemasonry, the Wikipedia page for it is like 20 pages long.
And I didn't read it.
And I kid you not, 19 and a half of those pages are just talking about how it's structured.
I feel like that's the Freemasons' main defense.
That's all it is.
It's boredom. Like, I think Freemasons operate that there is crazy shit happening, but they hide it under boredom that you won't follow through. Like, anytime you've ever tried to listen to even like someone going, I'm in the Freemasons, I'm level 15, I'll tell you all about it, they then drone on forever, and so your brain starts to shut down.
Yeah.
And I know that like by minute 10, he's like, yeah, so then, we have weekly meetings and then bi-weekly meetings. By the way, all lizard people are real. But anyway, and you're like, wait, what? Like, never mind. Like, they just slip that little part in.
It's like the candidate is progressively taught the meanings of the lodge symbols and entrusted with crypts, signs, and words to signify to other Masons that he has been initiated. The initiates are part allegory and part lecture and revolve around the construction of the Temple of Solomon.
I already lost. I zoned out. I am hosting this show and I zoned out. And the other thing that's kind of infuriating about him is the symbols, like the Freemason symbols that are everywhere. I mean, it's also just Illuminati symbols everywhere. They're so boring.
They're very boring.
They're so boring. They must know something. They're so boring, and they're pretending just to hide everything just so they can seem cool. Like when you go to like a bad vacation spot and you tell your friends that vacation was amazing because you don't want to seem like you wasted all your money and time.
That's
like
what Freemasons.
No, God, Cincinnati was a blast. They have a zoo
and they
man,
the food.
The food so good.
That's what Freemasonry is, except you have to spend like time hanging out there.
I just wonder with like the Freemason symbols, because you'll just be like, watching a movie and then it's really weird in this Michael Bay film. There's like 10 Freemason symbols just inserted into there. Like, what does that mean? And you first think, oh my God, that's some sort of secret message. They're trying to tell us something about Megan Fox and she's going to die. And like, I think it might just be a special effects guy is bored. A Freemason, either Freemason bored or just bored. Like, I'll freak some people out. But it drives me insane.
Yeah. So I actually found the rules for joining Freemasonry.
Okay.
And they're equally
it's
just
pretty easy
bizarre.
To do, though, right?
Yeah. I actually looked into becoming a Freemason.
I thought so as well about doing it, yeah.
Yeah, and first of all, you have to find a sponsor. You have to find someone in Freemasonry to let you into the club. Mm-hmm. But then their basic tenets for joining are, if you want to join, you have to have a belief in a supreme being, and Scripture is a condition of membership.
Yeah, it feels like it's also Christian, but not Christian.
Except, historically, Christians hated the Freemasons because they thought that they were deists, which very well could be the case since most of our founding fathers were deists and not proper Christians.
Yeah.
Initiates should take their vows on that Scripture, whatever they believe in.
So you could join and go, I believe in Dorito chips.
As long as there's a supreme Dorito chip.
I believe there is a supreme Dorito that exists over all of us, and I eat Doritos in reference to the supreme Dorito.
I believe in the Taco Bell Taco Supreme.
I believe in the Taco Supreme. Crunchwrap Supreme is the ultimate God. I believe in the Holy Trinity of Taco Bell. And
by these rules, you could swear in on a Taco Bell wrapper. Only men can be admitted.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And no relationship exists with mixed lodges. I don't know what that means. It's kind of weird.
I can't imagine it's a racial thing, right?
I hope not.
Well, wait, why would Scottie Pippen...
no, you're right. It can't be, because Scottie Pippen's a member.
But maybe it's just purely like... Maybe it's like terrorist cells. Like, you can't interact with other Freemason lodges.
Oh, wow. Like,
in case there's like a crack in the foundation, we need to keep things like isolated and stuff.
Actually, you're right. I think that I read on the Wikipedia that Freemason lodges don't interact with each other, and they actually don't officially recognize each other. So it's like an international brotherhood, but also they're like, fuck you.
That means you could just make one up. Like, you and I could pretend we're already part of a Freemason lodge. Get a few more people to join us, just make the whole thing up, and then like 10 years later, after we've had these people commit their lives to it, be like, oh yeah, by the way, none of the Freemasons know about us at all. Like, we're a
splinter lodge.
We just made it up. I don't know. Like, we're just making it up as we go. Sorry, you're not part of any cool society.
There is no discussion of politics or religion. And
what do you talk about?
I don't know, sports.
Oh yeah, the Bulls looking great.
Let's go bowling.
Go Bulls.
And then finally, ancient landmarks, customs, and usages are observed. The closest I could find to any meaning of that is actually a description of the initiation. The initiation into the Freemasons is probably, by all accounts, the weirdest I've seen.
But it's the same across all Freemasons.
Yes.
Okay.
This is from a true account, a verified account, approximately around the time that like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, all of those guys went through this exact initiation. Fucking Mozart and Isaac Newton went through this.
They share it. Can I guess? There's a vague, a foreign black hole in a wall, and you have to go
and they tap their foot,
tap your foot, and then put your dick in the hole. No, it's not like a glory hole. It's like it's like the thing from Dune. We got to trust it and put your dick in there.
The Gom Jabbar.
And then you got to hold it there for like an hour, and then if nothing happens to it, you get to stay apart.
Okay, so just listen to this.
Okay,
this is insane.
Okay,
they instruct new members to wear aprons.
Okay, I'm already laughing.
Then they hit them on the head with a bag of hair.
No, that's not true.
It is. Force them to play dead while other members pretend to conduct a murder.
What?
A hasty burial. Escape. A trial, a conviction, an execution, and then a proper burial on behalf of the faux dead.
Wait. So, like, you as the initiate are murdered?
You fake kill, like, a member.
That sounds fun.
After hitting them with a bag of hair.
And then, like, so then you are having to, like, just lie there quietly as you're murdered?
And then you are put on trial for this fake death.
Oh, so you're not the one that's killed. You are, like, it sounds like you're supposed to be the person who's murdered.
Oh, no, you're right. The initiate is murdered.
So you just watch a fun drama play.
Yeah.
Do they just like a Freemason guy and everyone like takes on different roles from Law and Order? Like,
I think so.
Like, I'm Ice-T Freemason. I think, wait, tell me more about this street crime that's going on. And then just like, I am Detective Belzer Freemason.
That's literally what happened. And all of the Founding Fathers did that. At least if they became Master Masons.
That sounds legitimately fun though, right? A little bit like I kind of want to do that. Just like an act of fun impromptu trial. They
start jostling the guy around after he's initiated, saying, "Give me your secrets."
What?
Yeah, and he has to like stand up to the.
Oh, it's like a test. Like
a bull. Like, are you going to succumb to peer pressure?
Why would that ever work?
I don't know. But here's the exact line that is said to a Freemason. This is top secret, guys.
Okay.
This is the exact line that a Freemason is told as he's shoved about by the existing members. Ruffian, this, shaking candidate, does not satisfy me. Talk not to me of time or place, but give me the secrets of a masturbation, or I shall take your life.
Of a masturbation or a master?
Master Mason.
And so then you tell him something?
And then he proceeds to kill you fakely.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
That's how you become a Freemason.
I want to do that, though. It's like mock trial. So you don't have to do anything. You just get to lay there and watch a fun show.
Nobody really knows why the Freemasons suddenly were no longer guilds for actual stonemasons and then became like the weird He-Man clubs they are today. They're just men's clubs.
Yeah, I think, honestly, maybe it's just to throw us off their trail, but the Flintstones, the best part of the Flintstones, has covered this pretty well.
The water buffaloes?
The water buffaloes.
A lot of the reasoning for why Freemasons became so hated, a lot of people just didn't like that there was this big secret club.
I don't like it.
That they could potentially be influencing voting blocks or worshiping things other than the Pope. That it's the same reason all secret societies are hated. But more in like the 20th century, a lot of it is tied back to a specific hoax in the 1890s that was perpetrated by a Frenchman named Leo Taxil, which was intended not only to mock Freemasonry, but also the Roman Catholic Church's opposition to it. He basically wrote a book that was supposedly a tell-all of the history of Freemasonry, and it contained fictitious eyewitness verifications of their participation in Satanism, called The Devil in the 19th Century. The books contain many implausible tales about her encounters with incarnate demons, one of whom was supposed to have written prophecies on her back with its tail, and another one who played the piano in the shape of a crocodile.
Wait, that escalated very quickly.
I know.
Then suddenly it was like, just a group of people hanging out. Then suddenly monkey riding with horntail.
And also one who played a piano in the shape of a crocodile.
Would the teeth be the keys?
So what was really funny about this is that this took off, right? And suddenly, everyone is talking about these as if they are real encounters that happened in Freemasonry.
Okay, so just spiraled out of control as the inside story of the Freemasons.
Yeah, like, oh shit, there's demons. On April 19th, 1897, after like 5 years of rivaled fame because of these exposés, he called a press conference in which he would introduce Diana Vaughan, his star witness, to the press. He instead announced that his revelations about the Freemasons were all fictitious, and he thanked the clergy for their assistance giving publicity to his wild claims. So it was basically just like, gotcha.
Thank you for acknowledging me. I am a crazy person.
So that is the Freemasons. It's just
if someone listens who's in the Freemasons, please, we would love to talk to you. That would, if you just want to make it up and say you're part of the Freemason, we'll totally probably believe you. Why don't we wrap it up with Skull and Bones?
The Skull and Bones is by far.
I hate them. I hate Skull and Bones.
The Skull and Bones is by I hate this one too.
It's. I think because it's kind of the most publicly known. It's the worst.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Let me just say, go on the record. Skull and Bones is not even a secret society. It's a frat house.
Yeah,
let's get that straight.
It's Beta Lambda Tau said, what if we weren't called Beta Lambda Tau? What if we just like called ourselves the Rippers, like, or whatever? And then we just started doing super stupid stuff to each other, and then some of us got very famous or very powerful.
And then they made a shitty movie about it.
And then, it
was about a murder that happens on Yale campus, and then
the Skull and Bones did it or something.
Cover it up.
I feel like one of the guys from Dawson's Creek is in it. That's all I know about it.
Let's just get the facts on the table.
Okay, yeah.
The Skull and Bones is an undergraduate senior quote-unquote secret society at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. It's the oldest senior class landed society at Yale. The society is known informally as Bones, and the members are known as Bonesmen.
I like them to be called Bunsmen. And then,
Bunsmen.
Yeah. So they're not even like fun with their names. Just like Bones. So you're skeletons? Like you should call yourselves skeletons then. If you're Bonesmen, just call yourselves fucking skeletons.
Yeah.
Goddamn hacks.
So in case there was any question over whether or not this was just a stupid ass frat.
I just like how this became a shit talk skull.
It is. It should be shit talk.
It's
because it's like when it was first founded in 1832, it was founded because of a dispute between Yale, different societies, over who should get the Phi Beta Kappa awards. And then it was co-founded so that they could have their own Phi Beta Kappa honor awards.
So it is the equivalent of like when I was in high school, I was on the newspapers and we had the most likely to blank awards or whatever. And then that was whatever the entire school voted on. And then a group of yearbook kids were like, we don't like that we didn't win these awards, so we're going to make our own separate awards. That's the equivalent of what Skull and Bones did, and that was terrible when they did it in our high school.
Yeah, so a lot of hay has been made that a lot of like the world leaders who graduated from Yale at some point or other, like George W. Bush and John Kerry, who coincidentally ran against each other, they both were in Skull and Bones.
And what a surprise that people who go to one of the top Ivy League schools in the nation that has one of the strongest networking sets in the nation all happen to become like politicians and important people. Like,
it's
what
not
a surprise! What a surprise!
But people make so much hay out of it because they're like, oh, it's a secret. They're trained. They're indoctrinated from a young. It's like, they're indoctrinated from birth because they're fucking rich.
It's just a good name for it. It's a nice like classification tag on already well-to-do people.
Yeah. So there are a couple interesting things about the Skull and Bones that it would just be cool if it was a frat, but not like this society.
Well, depending on what you say, I wouldn't even use the word cool. But
okay.
What do you got?
So members are assigned nicknames that are passed on generation to generation.
Yeah, I always like that in stories and stuff when Lancelot becomes another Lancelot or whatever.
Yeah, so there's Long Devil is always the tallest member, and Boaz is the varsity football captain. Or
Boaz?
Boaz.
What does that even mean?
Or Sheriff is the Prince of the Future.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know.
What is Prince of the... I do want to know what Prince of the Future is.
There's no explanation.
Okay.
So many of the names are chosen from literature, like Hamlet or Uncle Remus. Super racist.
What?
For instance, the banker Louis Lapham, one of the preeminent bankers of our time, was nicknamed Sancho Panza. Henry Luce was Bale.
I'm sorry. George H.W. Bush has the best one.
Magog.
Magog.
One of the Jewish demigods?
Do you think George H.W. Bush didn't like that one? It's like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a Magog. I feel like I should be Odin.
Well, George W. Bush did write in his autobiography that, quote, in my senior year, I joined Skull and Bones, a secret society. So secret, I can't say anything more.
That's pretty good.
And then John Kerry said when he was asked about...
Told everything.
John Kerry, when he was asked about being a Bones, when he was like, well, No, I can't tell you much because it's secret.
That's not John Kerry's accent, but since no one's heard John Kerry talk in 5 years, no one's going to call you on it but me.
Yeah!
Yeah, it's John Kerry. That's not the right
So, there was a group of journalists that actually secretly filmed and recorded the Skull and Bones initiation of new members.
They must have been like a college journalist or something.
Yeah, and what they found out was so laughably juvenile, they spent their evening quivering in silent laughter because apparently there were 2 sessions of covert recording, one in 2000 and another in 2001. And the one in 2000 was just audio, and it just left the journalist embarrassed for them after he heard it, because the new initiates were ordered to fetch Bones and yell, "Ooga Booga." That was it.
That was it, okay.
They had to get Bones out of a graveyard and go, "Ooga Booga." And then in 2001, when they actually videotaped the ceremony, they witnessed a guy wearing a George Bush mask.
So, like, acknowledging their famous
lineage, affecting a Texas drawl and yelling, "I'm gonna ream you like I reamed Al Gore," and "Lick my bumhole, neophyte."
Regardless of your political affiliations,
it's bad.
That's not good.
It was at this point that the laughter probably turned to horrified gasps as they realized that one of these masked faces could be a president someday.
Okay, all right. Yeah, see, the one I always heard about the Skull and Bones initiation, urban myth that in Skull and Bones their initiation involves initiates lying down in a glass coffin, and then all of the members onto you. Have you ever heard that? That's like I
did hear about
those common things. Like you just have to like see all the other dudes just like, welcome to Skull and Bones.
It's a frat.
And it's just a frat.
It's just a frat.
Every frat sorority initiation I've ever been able to hear how it goes is the dumbest thing. If you're in a frat sorority and you can't tell us what your thing is, maybe you have something cool. Maybe you came up with a fun initiation thing.
Skull and Bones is also known for a thing called crooking, where they basically just steal things. And
so they just do terrible things.
Like, wouldn't it be fabulous if we rich people pretended to steal because we need to?
So they like go into a 7-Eleven and steal candy bars and go, "Skull and Bones," and then they just like run outside.
But some of the more famous things they supposedly still have are the skull of Pancho Villa, hence someone being nicknamed Pancho Villa, and also the skull of Martin Van Buren and the skull of Geronimo.
Here's what I like to think happened is they stole that first skull of Pancho Villa, right?
Like that.
They already had it. Like they just found it, and it's like a thing no one wanted. And then I guess we should name one of our guys after Pancho Villa. So they made it have a significance to them.
Oh, we have an opportunity to steal Pancho Villa's skull. Now we have to make that part of our thing. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about it. I'm not going to cover them because it's a
Just go watch the Skull and Bones movie.
The best one is probably that one guy named Alexandra Robbins believes the Skull and Bones itself controls the CIA.
What?
Like, not the CIA farms from Skull and Bones, but the Skull and Bones Society, this frat of fucking undergraduates, controls the CIA.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's also the most frustrating is I, in some ways, like the idea that a secret society is a bunch of, like, elderly people who might be stuck in their ways, but at least they've had years and years of experience to control the world. The idea of Skull and Bones being these people who are like, I'm 20 and I really like Entourage and Call of Duty and I'm going to control what America does.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck that shit. You don't get to make those calls yet until you're at least 28.
No, until you have to pay taxes. And you don't get
you have to pay a couple years of taxes, and you had to have like had your life aspirations fail and crash for a couple years at least before you get to start making decisions about everyone else's life.
So before we wrap it up, I just want to do a real rapid-fire run-and-gun honorable mention secret societies so we can say we
in case you're bummed that your secret society that you're in wasn't mentioned.
All right. So some of these are cool, some of these are dumb, but they're fun. First of all, there's the Rosicrucians. That was a medieval society that basically was based on a book that came out, around medieval times that suggested there was a secret society of people who had the masters of alchemy and other magical abilities, and they were sharing them with each other.
That's cool.
And
that's the coolest one.
It's pretty awesome. There's not a lot that really came about from it, though.
They really didn't learn anything.
Because, A, the society didn't actually exist. There was just everybody thought it existed, and they never actually revealed any secrets because all they did because they didn't have any secrets to reveal.
So they're like, let's make a society and we'll start to acquire knowledge, and they never figured anything out. and then nothing to share is what you're saying.
Yeah, all it was like a bunch of mysterious like stuff left on walls like in Paris, and like books that were supposedly published that said, "We of the Rosy Cross have secrets. We have a secret."
But they do that thing like, but first you tell us your secrets, and then we'll tell you.
And then we'll tell yours.
Secrets.
And they hear the secret and they run away.
And they run away and go, oh.
So there's a lot of ambiguous poetry about it. But this one I pulled up says, "For what we do presage is not engross, for we are brethren of the Rosy Cross. We have the Mason word and second sight. Things for to come we can foretell, all right." So basically they said they could predict the future with their magic potions or something.
I wish they could have.
But one cool thing that came out of that is that the idea of this secret society of knowledge and people of learning coming together and sharing ideas.
You're saying that they started the idea of it?
They jump-started the scientific revolution. Because a lot of 16th century Europe was promoted by this idea of secret societies and learning, and that's where we got Johann Kepler and Tycho Brahe and John Dee and members of the Royal Society and the Invisible College.
And Tycho Brahe? I never knew that.
Tycho, yeah. What did you think it was Tycho?
I thought it was Tycho because of Penny Arcade.
I mean, Penny Arcade, it's probably Tycho, but some other honorable mentions. The Ordo Templis Orientis, or the Order of the Temples of the East, which was the self-styled Great Beast Aleister Crowley's personal secret society. A guy lived around the turn of the century and was most famous for his creation of this thing called Thelema, where he was kind of like an early...
Thumbelina?
Thelema. And the rule of it was, do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. Basically, do whatever you want.
Yeah, that doesn't teach me anything.
No, it doesn't. It's sort of like existential.
So what you're pitching is a secret society where it's like, let things happen as they happen. We're cool with all of it.
Yeah, but he was also like obsessed with ancient Egypt, and so like a lot of his weird rituals that he made up in this private club were like Egyptian themed, involved priestesses and virgins. He became kind of like an early New Age figure. It didn't mean that he didn't have some bizarre practices.
I mean, didn't mean he was. You're trying to also like. It doesn't mean he wasn't. He was pretty cool though. You're trying to make him.
He was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Chief among these is the group's fixation on the sexual, especially their teachings on the quote adoration of the phallus and the magic of masturbation.
Okay, actually, I like that one a lot.
There's also the Illuminati, which is another one of the big whammies, but actually the actual Illuminati doesn't exist anymore. It was
I'm sorry, it does exist anymore.
Yeah, but it doesn't though.
It is Black Bolt and Namor and Stephen Strange and Tony Stark.
Okay,
no, let me get this. And Captain America decided not to be part of it, and then T'Challa, the Black Panther, decided to be part of it. He regretted it later. And then Reed Richards and Professor Xavier, but he's dead, so Beast takes his place. And
but the actual Illuminati was just a movement of free thinkers who were an offshoot of the Enlightenment. They were founded on May 1st, 1776 in Upper Bavaria. They were just basically kind of like a Freemason group that had no require to believe in a supreme being.
Okay.
And most of their members were humanists, which freaked out a lot of the religious right. And so internal panic over the succession of a new leader made them think that the Illuminati were going to overthrow their government and take it over with atheists or whatever. So they basically crushed them and they disappeared.
Okay.
And that's it. That was the end of the Illuminati. Like 18th century, gone.
But man, the Illuminati is like... all right, here's just a side note. The Illuminati is the coolest... in some ways, the coolest idea of it. It's more fun to me of like a few incredibly powerful people doing all of it. 4 or 5 versus thousands.
One last one.
Okay.
Probably recognize this as soon as I say it. The Hashashashin, or the Nizari, were a mysterious band of Muslim assassins that operated in the Middle East during the 13th century. They were made up of Shia Muslims who broke off from a bigger sect and banded together in order to establish a utopian Shiite state. Because their number was small, they used guerrilla tactics in their battles against enemies in espionage, sabotage, and most famously, political assassination.
Aaron, this seems not fun and more serious.
The Hashashashin would plant highly trained moles inside enemy strongholds with instruction to only attack when the time was right.
Wow.
They were known for their extreme discretion in minimizing civilian casualties, as well as their penchant for using stealth. As the story goes, enemy leaders would often wake in the morning to find a Hashashashin dagger lying on their pillow.
Why would they not cut one of the cut one of them down to save time in your life?
You would find a dagger lying on your pillow with a note saying, "You are in our grip."
Whoa.
So the legend grew. Supposedly, they performed jobs for people like King Richard of the Lionheart.
Okay. The guy from, isn't that guy from Robin King? Isn't that guy from Robin Hood?
Yeah, he's the guy who went off to war. And
Yeah, and had fought in the Crusades or whatever it is, right?
His evil brother, King John, took over. The most controversial legend suggests that the term Hashashashin, as it believes to the Nizari, is believed to be the origin of the modern word for assassin.
Oh.
Assassin's
Okay.
Creed. So that's secret societies.
Yeah, secret societies. That's pretty good. If we missed anything, please let us know. Or if there's a new secret society that you're hearing about, we'd like to get on board on the ground level.
Yes.
So
Let us in.
Let us in. We'll talk about it. We could just make one.
We could make one.
Could make
you want to
one.
make one right now?
I think. All right.
It's
I think honestly, I think the shopkeepers.
the Order of the Shop of Keepers.
Well, I think I'm not to shut it down. I think we just go shopkeepers. Like
the Order of the Shopkeepers.
and the Order of the Shopkeepers, and it sounds like just people who work normal business jobs and merchants and like, oh, that guy who works at a grocery store. He's a shopkeeper, but no, he's a shopkeeper.
He's a shopkeeper.
He keeps inventory not of produce or video games or things at Target,
but the most valuable product
people's
of
lives.
The mind.
Oh, also of the mind.
And lives, I
and
guess.
lives as well. Inventory of lives. So, welcome, listeners, or just message us if you want to join the shopkeepers. I feel like we shouldn't just instantly induct all of you. You should message us. Yeah, if you want to.
If you want to join the shopkeepers, you should tweet at us.
Our scripted code from the beginning of the episode, whatever we said it was, we said it. We had a message. We said at the very beginning of the episode.
Oh shit!
Whatever it is, we'll listen to it and play it
Yes.
back again. The howling eye knocks and also stares down at you.
Hashtag howling eye.
Hashtag 420 blaze it.
That hashtag.
Find it, and you are instantly inducted into the Order of the Shopkeepers.
Yes, tweet at us with that hashtag at the beginning of
I
the
only
episode.
remember part of it was hashtag 420 blaze it. But then there's an earlier part before.
No, the cooler part.
The cooler part, but also hashtag 420 blaze it.
Yes. And you will be instantly inducted into the Order of the Shopkeepers.
Okay.
You can tweet at us at Paranoia Shop. That's SHOPPE, or email us at paranoiashop@gmail.com if you just want to comment or question. You can also tweet at Chad and I directly. You can tweet at me at GoodAaron.
And you can tweet at me at Quantum Theory, QUANDTUM Theory. Also, anything we reference and link, you can go to paranoiashop.com or explosivemagical.com. They'll both take you to the page links for these episodes, and you can check out all the videos and Bill Clinton telling off that guy. We'll put them all on the page.
It's so good.
It's pretty great.
Okay, to close us out, I have one last secret society.
I see what you have written down.
Secret messages.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe you've heard of a TV show called Gravity Falls. Really fun cartoon on
killing
Disney
it. It's
Channel.
killing it right now.
Here's the thing. It's specifically about secret societies and sort of cryptozoology. A lot of the stuff that we talk about
If you
on
listen
the
to
show.
this podcast, honestly, I imagine there's a high overlap of people who listen to Gravity Falls and also dissect clues and...
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. There's apparently a few people who didn't get the joke. And they actually watch Gravity Falls thinking they've uncovered all of these secret clues that were intentionally left there.
So they're just like flipping through channels, and they get to Disney Channel, and they're like, "What's this? Oh, what is this charming little cartoon? Wait, what's that Illuminati symbol about?
Oh my God.
Why is that an Illuminati symbol? What is that totem about?"
So I found a blog that someone had written called,
Yay.
and here's the title of the blog.
Yay! I'm so happy that you found this.
The title of the blog is "Help Me Find the False Flag Terrorist Attack Clues Hidden Within Gravity Falls Show." And I quote, "Earlier, I posted about how I was informed in a couple dreams that a clue to the upcoming false flag terrorist attacks would be found in an animated commercial or television show. Initially, it took me a long time to find it. This is because I mistook the occult symbolism within the dream for Russian writing. I have now successfully identified the television show. It is Gravity Falls."
Oh my God! So this guy had a whole mystery of just what is that show called?
In my dreams that told me about a false flag terrorist attack.
no.
It is Gravity Falls, a television show on the Disney Network. I remember seeing mushrooms and a bunch of trees within the dream. Sure enough, Gravity Falls is full of such imagery.
Mushrooms?
I don't know, man.
No.
While I haven't found anything related to the upcoming false flags, there's a lot of strange stuff that perhaps others could use in their efforts in finding the hidden false flag messages.
Yay.
This show is also loaded with Illuminati symbolism.
Oh, no.
Another clue I was given within the dream was the phrase, "It's getting bigger." I think it must be a reference to the 11th episode called Little Dipper. This episode features Dipper and Mabel finding a magic crystal which allows them to shrink and grow objects and people.
That's not what Little Dipper... I guess so.
It is an episode of the show.
Yeah.
Within the opening scene, a backmasked message is heard which states 3 letters back. This is a clue which will help us unscramble a series of hidden messages within the show. Again, done on purpose.
Because, if you're not familiar with the show, you really should check it out. It's pretty great. They hide, like, hidden coded messages and, like, individual frames. They'll have, like, hidden symbols. Usually, and they'll pull stuff from the Illuminati. So I had never thought about Gravity Falls unintentionally driving
People insane.
thinking this is not intentional, and it's all, oh my god.
So there's Stan as a character on the show. Notice the similarity to the name Satan.
That's where they go with it?
And then he says, "Here's a picture of a Shriner with a fez." And they just post a picture of an old man wearing
has a fez. Yeah, that's on purpose.
And then it says, "The end of the second episode features the following message." Quote, "Next week, return to Butt Island." I will update this if I find anything else.
I must know more about Butt Island. That's amazing.
Thank you for listening,
Thanks,
folks.
guys. We'll be back much sooner next time.
And remember, join the Order of the Secret Paranoia Shoppers.
Hashtag 420 Blaze It.
This has been an Explosa Magico podcast production. For more information, please visit explosamagico.com.